Philadelphia is expected to be interested in and pursue James Harden, the Rockets star who Daryl Morey has a history with, but as will other teams also express interest. As of right now, it is an emphatic no from the Rockets side. It's really a non-starter for that organization. Daryl Morey, though, has a history of being active on the trade market, pursuing the different opportunities that may exist out there, and I wouldn't expect it to be any different now that he's in Philadelphia.
To his roster, he was on a press conference along with Doc Rivers, and they said they absolutely think that Embiid and Simmons can work together. Jalen, I know you've got a really good idea of what the future holds for the Sixers. What do you think this year looks like for the 76ers? Will they move one of these big pieces?
I don't believe they move one of these pieces this year. They got one season to see how far they can go. Right now in the Eastern Conference being a revolving door since, this reminds me of the early 2000s. When MJ left, the East was a revolving door. Then LeBron James went to 9 or 10 straight finals. Now, if you look at the last few seasons, Jacoby, unlikely teams have come out of the East. Even Toronto, with Kawhi Leonard winning a championship his one season there. This year with the Miami Heat making it to the finals. So now the Nets are going to have Kyrie and KD. You're still going to have the other teams in the East that have been doing well over the last couple of years, including the Celtics that you just mentioned. On paper, the Philadelphia 76ers should be just as good as those teams, if not better. The Milwaukee Bucks just didn't meet expectations. So when you talk about those top 4 or 5 teams in the East, when you add Doc Rivers to go with 2 perennial All-Stars and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, you should be in contention. Tobias Harris should play better with his former coach of the Clippers now being with him in Philadelphia. I expect Philadelphia to perform clearly better than this year, and they should be one of the teams that we're considering coming out of the East next year.
Absolutely. Now, Jalen, sometimes after a couple of adult beverages, I can get you to tell stories about pickup runs with Magic Johnson and UCLA, and I can really get you going on some of the details. But pickup runs between NBA athletes are different now. We have some footage of some very prominent NBA athletes playing some pickup basketball. John Wall, most notably, and James Harden's in there. You'll recognize some other faces. But, Jalen, I want to ask you, how is it different now that we have social media and cameras pointed at these runs, and it seems sort of PR more than pickup? How is it different now than it was with you?
Well, I'll tell you how different it was based on those UCLA runs. You just gave me an amazing memory of the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. Being at the gym with him doing drills, and then afterwards it was early afternoon, going to Santa Monica. We're going to be young pros, getting massages, getting in the hot tub, getting our bodies ready. The difference was I was in LA to work out for the summer, and then I went and kicked it. He went back to the gym. How about that for the legend? And so these runs, Jacoby, a lot of time they letting you know that the guys are in the gym putting in work, but it's so very edited to highlight the player who gets to post it. So if you notice, the highlights are of James Harden, are of John Wall. So basically you're courtesying that. You don't see no highlights of PJ Tucker. He out there. He got millions of dollars. You don't see Andre Drummond getting no highlights. He's getting paid millions of dollars. He can have somebody hold the camera and post it on his social media feed. So you're right. It's an opportunity to show the world that, yeah, I'm in the gym putting in that work. And a lot of us are in here. However, the footage has to be courtesy based on everybody that's in the gym because you don't want to make anybody look bad.
Jalen, I was watching these clips. There's something that me and John Wall have in common about our games. There's one thing that me and John Wall have in common when we play pickup. Nope. He had to wear more than one shirt. He had to change shirts at some point during the run. When I go to play pickup, I bring 3 shirts. That's how sweaty I am. Jalen,
and you still don't take a shower.
I have some updated information about the NBA season and the NFL playoff structure. That and much more when we come back. You're watching Jalen and Jacoby. 17 in the South Street Seaport and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, yesterday on the eve of Election Day, that is today, Donald Trump held a rally. And during that rally, the people behind him, his supporters, started cheering LeBron James sucks in a reaction to Trump's commentary on NBA ratings. What are your thoughts about this?
This woman over my left shoulder, Jacoby, that's Rosa Parks. She stood for civil liberties. That's exactly what LeBron James does when he's not playing basketball. And for the Lakers to win the championship this year, and for NBA arenas to now be hosting voting sites, is total progress to the leadership of not only the league, but of the face of the game in LeBron James. As a humanitarian, he sacrificed so very much using his voice and using his platform to benefit others. It's just a constant reminder, though, when you're an athlete sometimes and people don't necessarily agree with your stance, they want to denounce it. So I just want to continue to encourage him and people like him to continue to be strong, continue to be disciplined. Today's an important day in our country. Get out and vote.
Well put, Mr. Rose. It is now time for the segment where you decide what we discuss. It's Keep It Moving. If you would like to discuss the topic, say hit the brakes. If not, me and Method Man jump in the minivan and keep moving. And we start with some new information about when the NBA season could potentially start. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes, dog. Hit the brakes.
The latest is that Adam Silver says time is running out for them to start in December and potentially have the first games being played around, if not on Christmas. Jalen, what do you think?
I have the solution. Here it is. You start the season as an NBA collective, but the focus should be on the teams that were not in the bubble and the ones that got eliminated from the bubble that didn't make the playoffs, and then the ones that got eliminated early in the playoffs, and you continue that gradual release of allowing all of the teams to then get out there and perform. You can't just feel like you're going to have LeBron James out there 60 days, 90 days right after he just won the championship. That's just unrealistic. But to me, there is a way to highlight the teams that didn't get a chance to be in the bubble and still start the NBA season and give the fans something to be excited about as you enter January, because I feel like the true regular season is going to start around MLK Day.
Jalen, the NFL has a very interesting proposal about their playoff structure. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.